It was a good job by our team, hanging in there the first couple innings. After we got down three zip, Georgia came out and swung the bat extremely well. And, uh, Zach, I thought Zach pitched extremely well, really, honestly. They just put a couple of good swings on a couple of pitches and got out on us. But offensively, I thought we just kind of wore Curly down a little bit. And, the first three innings, I think it was nine up, nine down, or something like that. And then it slowly started to flip. And we got him in the stretch when he hits Aloy, and then we ended up putting together some big hits, scored three, tied it up, and Zach went to work. He got us back in the dugout quick a couple of times, and just a gritty win on a Friday night on the road.
Jackson, go ahead.
Hey Dave, how's Sousa doing?
He's probably in a little pain, but yeah, don't know much yet. He hurt it pretty bad.
Out the rest of the weekend, you think?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
maybe a lot longer than that.
gotcha. That the inning right after he got hurt, how you have the base running mistake, you don't score a run, they get second and third and root two strikeouts. I mean, how big was that inning as a momentum turner for you guys?
Well, it was super big. We were a little bummed out about him getting hurt, and there was one out, ground ball hit really hard right at the third baseman. I don't know what he saw. Even if it had just gone back to the bag, it'd been two outs probably with the runner at third or runner at second. So yeah, it was a mistake going on that play. But for Root to go out and get us back in the dugout quick, I thought it settles us down a little bit.
Is Jimenez available for Sunday potentially, based off you guys taking him out in the ninth?
I don't know. I don't know if we would do that. He obviously had plenty of pitches left, but we scored seven runs, and it was more about the time he was just sitting in there. Plus, the temperature has really gone down a lot, and we just felt like we need to get him out.
Butch, go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, with Souza coming out, you put in Gabe Frasier, the freshman. I'm curious what led you to put him in over some of the other guys, and then what did you think of the way he delivered there for you with the big RBI triple?
Yeah, I mean, really, the other option would have just been to move Cam over to second and bring in another first baseman. But he's been playing well, fielding the ball well, been working at all three positions in the infield except first base, and he's gotten some time here and there. And I told him, I don't know, a few months ago, your time's coming, and you never know when it's going to happen. You're always one injury away, and he came in and did a nice job.
And when a guy like that doesn't play a whole lot comes in and delivers and makes the most of his moment, does that maybe lift the whole team, the morale? Like just kind of does that give you a little spark?
Well, it definitely gave us a spark because it gave us the lead, and on the road, packed house, a lot of atmosphere, a lot of anticipation of us playing. I mean, obviously, you guys aren't here. Yeah, this was a big series for them, and I mean, we try to stay even keel as best we can, but sometimes you can just tell it means a little bit more.
Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess in all your years coaching, I mean, how often is it where a true freshman comes in the middle of the game and ends up getting what would have been, I guess, technically the game-winning hit?
Yeah, maybe not as many freshman hitters, but I've had a lot of freshman pitchers do jobs and come in and make a move, in big games and, end up staying in a role, whether it was a reliever or end up maybe starting. And we've had some freshmen start in the past in the field. It's just on this team, it's a little bit older and, guys were having really good years. So, just waiting their time. And we recruit them because they're good players. Sometimes they just need an opportunity.
And then I guess what does it say about Aiden where he comes in and then he walks the guy to load the bases, but he's still collected enough just to get out of it?
Yeah, that was an okay walk. Just the whole situation there. I think we had an open base, and I guess the number said to get him because he hits better against lefties than he does righties. Or excuse me, against lefts and righties. But we didn't get him, but he got the next guy, and ended up getting a left-handed hitter with on a pretty good pitch. I think it was left-hander. But anyway, it didn't matter if which one he got. We just needed to get it out there, keep them off the board. So I was super, super happy that that happened, obviously, at the time.
And then tonight is 1,500 career wins for you across all levels. I don't know if you knew that or what that meaning has for you.
That means I've been in a lot of games and coached a lot. Yeah, that's junior college, Division II for a year, and then 3 Division I schools. So, proud of it, proud of all the guys that have played for me and all the coaches. And it's a number, and but I appreciate it. But really, to me, tonight, the win here at Arkansas was huge. Us getting a road win on a Friday again.
And then I guess for today, and I guess when you got to Georgia as well, what were your interactions with Wes like? Obviously, you talked about that before the series started.
Yeah, we talked on the field for probably about 10 minutes, just about the league and how good it is. Talked about them playing Texas last week and how the couple games got away from them when they looked, they had a 4-run lead and Saturday's game going into the sixth. And then it was 4-2, 4-0, 4-2, and then they let it go. And then, they got beaten extra innings on Sunday. So, I don't know. We talked about a couple other things, but it was good to talk to him, good to see him.
Hey, Hutch, close this one out before we get Frasier and Jimenez on here.
Yeah, Dave, you mentioned yesterday how no lead is safe with Georgia. So how nice was it when you went out there the ninth and tacked on another 7 runs?
It was great. We had a 3-run lead going into the ninth. We were just hoping to score a run, make it 4. But the way it worked out was great. Got a couple hits, hit by pitch, walks, and a couple of big hits, and had a chance to kind of finish it up. And yeah, it was good. It was a good feeling because wind blowing out. It was blowing really hard at the beginning of the game. They had a couple of kind of fly balls that blew all the way to the fence. And you're kind of going, wow, this is jumpy tonight. But it calmed down a little bit second half of the game.
Yeah, I can start it. Gabe, Coach Van Horn was just telling us that he's made sure to tell you, like, hey, stay ready, your time's coming. Just kind of what's this season been like? Not playing a whole lot, but it seemed like you've delivered a few times when you've had a chance.
Yeah, I think just kind of accepting my role for this season and understanding that I'm a freshman and there's a lot of good older players than me on this team, and just kind of accepting the fact that and just staying mentally prepared to go in at any time.
And what was your mindset going into that at bat there, where you got the go ahead home run or go ahead triple RBI triple in the seventh? What were you looking for? What was the at bat like?
Yeah, I mean, kind of do a job. Coming off the bench in a big situation, I think for me it's executing a job, and that's what I did.
Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, Aiden, for you, what I guess what's it kind of like just to come into a big spot like that? And then also just to be able to maybe you have the open base, but just to have the ability to kind of like maybe forget about the other guys on base and just get that third out.
Yeah, it was a cool atmosphere to get in there. So adrenaline was definitely pumping once I got in there. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just pitching with confidence. I think my stuff's good enough, so I was fine throwing kind of a chase pitch there, see if he would swing at it because I knew I had an open base and I could work with that next guy.
And then Gabe, for you, you haven't had the most number of at bats in conference play. Is that something that you're actively thinking about before when you come in? This is the opportunity maybe to prove yourself here.
Yeah, when my name's called, I've done the work throughout the week to prepare for it, and from there it's kind of just be who I am.
And then you obviously had a pretty big celebration at third base. What was kind of the emotional weight of that moment?
Yeah, I mean, I just get excited. I like to get the guys going. It's a good, fun atmosphere in the clubhouse. We have a lot of fun. So just delivering that back to the guys is fun.
Hutch, you got anything else?
Yeah, Aiden, what's it like when a guy that maybe doesn't play a whole lot like Gabe comes through and delivers in a moment like that? Does that kind of provide a little extra spark for the team?
Yeah, I think it definitely gets the guys riled up. I mean, we all want to see each other succeed. So when he gets in there and he hits a big hit like that, it gets everybody fired up.